Hey, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but Mint's premium wireless is $15 a month. But I'd like to offer one other perk. We have no stores. That means no small talk. Crazy weather we're having. No, it's not. It's just weather. It is an introvert's dream. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Why does every recipe I try need 18 ingredients, including a jar of something paste I'll never use again, but will sit in my fridge for 9 months? I just want dinner in the oven, fast. That's why I love Blue Apron's new one-pan assemble and bake meals. They send you fresh ingredients that are already chopped. All you do is put it all together and bake. That's it. No chopping, no weird leftovers, just delicious, easy-to-make meals. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
The kettle's boiled, Vic.
Great. Perfect timing. Just a dash of milk for me, please, mate.
Here you go. Shall we get started then?
Have you ever woken up on a Sunday morning and said, I'm never drinking again, and then found yourself waving $50 at a barman by happy hour?
Are you wondering why everyone else can stop at 1 while you head to a dodgy after-party with a weird bloke called Disco Dave? If so, it might be time to take a deeper look at your relationship with your reliable social crutch, alcohol.
On each episode, we'll investigate our own dysfunctional dealings with booze and find out if it's possible to stop this deeply ingrained habit before things get too messy.
Yep, we're going to open up a shame shed of humiliating drinking stories to help you understand why waking up from a booze coma each weekend with a kebab sticking out of your top pocket might actually be negatively impacting your health.
Hamish and I are here to delve into what it's like being sober, an unwanted warts and all look into why giving up those cheeky pints or putting down those mummy wines will make you feel happier, help your anxiety and mental health, and turn you into the most sparkly, authentic version of you.
Won't that mean I become boring though, Vic?
Well, Hamish, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm Victoria Vanstone.
I'm Hamish Adams-Cairns.
And this is Sober Awkward.
Vic, I suppose I should start this podcast by mentioning at least the somewhat bizarre and integral role that you played in the birth of my daughter. We were having dinner with you less than 2 hours before we were holding the baby.
And your wife had said to me, the mucus plug had gone. And anyone who's ever had a baby knows what I'm talking about. And I was like, Liz, I'm sure that pretty much means that the baby is on its way. And I could see by her tummy that it was quite low down. And we had a photo shoot booked for the next morning. And I texted the guy as soon as I left your house and said, I don't think Hamish is going to be there in the morning. And he said, why? And I said, pretty much his wife is having a baby in the next hour. I totally predicted it.
Well, we were actually recording an episode together that afternoon in my kitchen, and there was a bit when Liz walked in, so we sort of went off air, and I edited that version this week, and you said, this baby's going to come in like in the next few hours. And so I drove you home after dinner at 8:30, I think it was. About 8:30. Yeah, she was born just after 10:30. So as soon as you left, Liz got into bed, started doing a bedtime story with Sunny, felt something. She was like, I'm just going to time how far apart these sort of strange pains are. And they were already 2.5 minutes apart. It was already absolute go time. Put out an SOS signal to get Sunny picked up, got to the hospital within 10 minutes. Again, Liz's superpower is giving birth. Within 10 minutes of getting to the hospital room, we were holding Romy.
Oh, Romy's here, and I got to meet her. I was only down in Sydney for 3 nights, and on the last night she was born, and I got to meet her before I flew back up to the sunny coast.
It makes
and
sense.
Hold her.
You met her before all of the family.
Your wife said to me, thank you for talking the baby out of me. Because when we hadn't seen each other for ages and we were just nattering like a pair of old ladies when we saw each other. And she said, I think you talked the baby out of my vagina. I was like, you're welcome.
I guess. So what, you think Romy wanted to be a part of that natter? She thought she was missing out on the gossip, thought, get me out of here, I want to join in.
No, I think she wanted to get away from it. She's like, I'm going to get out and run away from these two as quickly as I can.
Okay, yeah. You've wanted to start this podcast by a bit of a confession about your behaviour at cafes, which anyone that's listened to the podcast for any amount of time will know that since becoming sober, your life has improved in lots of ways. I won't say always, but lots of ways. One of the ways that it has somewhat gotten worse is for your friends who accompany you to cafes, because you're a bit particular about the way you like your food and drink served now.
Yeah, so we talked about it on the last episode, I think, didn't we? We talked about me being the cafe Karen now. And I like my coffee extra hot, and I like 2 pieces of toast with 2 eggs. There's no in between. That's how I like things. And if it doesn't come out like that, I'm quite moody about it. But now things have progressed slightly this week, Hamish. I have discovered writing complaint letters on ChatGPT.
Why does that not surprise me? How many have you written?
I think I've probably written 5 this week.
Who are the other 4 to? Who else are you complaining? Is it just all the cafes around you?
No, not just cafes, anything now.
You're going to get barred for reasons different to the ones where you used to get barred for drinking and stripping.
Yeah, anything that's slightly off, I'm on ChatGPT going, right, dear ChatGPT, can you please tell me how I write a complaint letter? Make it sound friendly but approachable in a way that I'll get some money back.
The fact that you're calling it ChatBT emphasises your lack of knowledge in this whole game. Okay, go on. Give me an example of this complaint letter.
Okay, the first one I sent back was to an online shop where I bought some clothes, and they never, ever are as nice as they look online. It looked like cotton. It was nylon, Hamish. What am I going to do? The title read, ChatGPT makes the titles, of course, was just unsatisfied customer. To the point, I got my money back. I got some Airbnb money back after staying in a place where the owner counted the teaspoons and tried to keep my deposit. I got that money back. Through a complaint letter on GPT, I wrote to the local authorities to moan about the plans to cut down some local trees where the kangaroos and the koalas live. Guess what the title was?
Go on.
Kangaroo shading disruption.
I feel like I want more puns in these. Like
No,
there's no
puns. ChatGPT is not the best ChatGPT is not the best at puns. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I've been thoroughly enjoying that this week. When I'm bored, I would just write a complaint letter. In fact, it's a really good sober tool, isn't it, Hamish? If you're bored, make friends with ChatGPT and you never need to go out again, basically. I just sit at home. I'm a professional eco-warrior and whiner from the comfort of my front room.
We have spent years giving people guidance on how to socialise sober. Forget it. Just stay inside and chat to your computer. I don't know what to label you. Are you a professional whiner? Or just like a grumpy old lady, or you're just a bit of a dick now? I'm leaning towards the latter, to be honest. That should be on your LinkedIn profile.
Never call a perimenopausal lady a dick or a grumpy old lady, Hamish. I think I'll just leap over the desk and scratch out your eyes.
Today's episode is titled, Is It Time to Grow Up? And it's all about that intriguing claim. The moment you start drinking alcohol, you somehow stop maturing. Now that might sound a little bit weird, but it did get us thinking about our own journeys and what it really means to grow up.
This podcast is important, apparently, because so many of us have experienced and witnessed the idea that booze keeps you stuck in an endless loop of emotional immaturity. Today, we want to dive into whether that's actually true. Is drinking really a roadblock to personal growth, or is it more about the choices we make while under its influence? Does sobriety really open the door to emotionally evolving? Ooh, that's quite good, isn't it, Haim?
Was that ChatGPT?
No, it wasn't actually. That was
It was your lack of authority when you said this is important. Apparently, it made it sound like someone else had written it. I was like, suspicious.
I wrote it a few days ago. And I've just forgotten what I wrote. Before we find out what immature little brats we both were and possibly still are, let's find out what we really mean by immature. I'm guessing it's someone that doesn't put empty toilet rolls in the bin, doesn't screw lids on properly, and writes "kick me" on Post-it notes and attaches them to people's backs, all of which I enjoy.
I'll tell you what I'm really enjoying at the moment is that old one when you're sitting behind someone, you tap them on the shoulder and they look the wrong way.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm doing that with Sonny. He is a 2-year-old, but that is really tickling me.
I thought you were going to say you're doing it at work. I'll be like, Hamish, don't do it to your boss. Who is that guy down in sales who keeps tapping me on the shoulder?
Or holding the peace sign over people's heads when they do a photograph. You know that one?
Oh, yeah, I like that one. My other favourite one is if I've got a glass of water and I'm in a lift, I stick my fingers in the water and then cough on someone's neck. Yes, and so it splutters, so that they think that you've coughed on their neck. I do like whoopee cushions. I like immaturity. Immaturity is a good thing, but today we're going to talk about a level of immaturity that's not okay. Whereas I think those things that we're talking about are okay because they're just funny. Whereas we're talking about emotional immaturity, which perhaps isn't okay at our age, which we probably both are as well.
Okay. Yeah, we ain't perfect. Okay, no. Definition of immaturity. Here we go. It's basically when someone is not fully developed or grown, especially in terms of emotions, intellect, or behaviour. It often refers to actions, attitudes, or reactions that are considered simplistic, you and I, impulsive, or characteristic of an earlier stage of development rather than that of a mature individual, which I do believe describes us both quite well.
Okay, it does actually, yeah. Simplistic, impulsive, and of earlier stage development. Yeah. Definitely me. So even though I guessed I had matured in sobriety, I am still an immature little twat that finds toilet humour and practical jokes highly amusing.
Yeah, let's just say you're childlike, Vic. It's a bit of a softer term. Immature sounds mean, childlike sounds endearing. And perhaps you're just a little bit odd as well.
Okay, yeah, I don't mind that. I'm happy with odd. Now, let's assume that when you get sober, you mature a little bit. What should that look like? Someone that talks about mortgages, I reckon, and stacks the dishwasher properly. That's basically my husband. He is mature and I am immature. I think you need the balance in a relationship though, Haim, don't you?
I think you can tell someone's maturity around their dishwasher etiquette.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
That is the sign of grown-ups.
It's a test, isn't it? It should be like an emotional test when you go into a relationship. Who stacks the dishwasher properly? Because you've got to have one person.
Yeah. I would say my sobriety has not affected my dishwashing stacking at all.
Do you put the tap onto the plates before them going in the dishwasher?
We're rarely using the dishwasher now, but I would a little bit. Do you put spoon and fork heads facing down or facing up?
The spoon and forks up, the knives down, obviously, because I heard that terrible story of that woman falling over in her kitchen and cutting her own throat open.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so always put the knives down, Hamish.
Okay, that's
Spoons
good.
up, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's too anal for me. I'm not worried about which goes up and down of those.
Okay, but you are going to be worried now that I've just told you that.
Yeah, no.
Tonight, you are going to be stacking the knives upside down.
I'm not using knives in this house anymore.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
A mature person is fully developed emotionally and intellectually, exhibiting qualities such as wisdom, responsibility, self-control. Mature individuals are capable of thoughtful decision-making, understanding complex ideas, and handling challenges with a balanced perspective.
It sounds like a very responsible, sober person to me. I think we're all a bit like that once we give up drinking. I think that's what we want to work out today. Is it that we have matured since we ditched the pints? And if so, why does this happen? Don't panic. Even though maturing sounds boring and perhaps a little nerdy, it's actually one of the most rewarding parts of sober life.
Vic, are you implying that our partying days were days of immaturity rather than like a coming of age? That we were avoiding deeper connections with ourselves whilst trying desperately to hold on to our youths?
I'm not sure I would put it as poetically as that, but yes, kind of. Maybe you were just being immature because everyone else was. I'm just saying that is a possibility, Hamish.
Okay then, this is where Vic tells us some awful anecdotes from back when she was a pint-stealing, podium-hogging little shit. God, that sounds harsh. Here's for some ways you think you were immature as a boozer. You touched on it then, but I want specifics.
Okay, quickly. I'm going to give you 2 periods. As a young adult in my 20s and 30s, and then as an older adult in my 30s and early 40s. Okay. So this is what stood out as being immature. Mm-hmm. I used sex as a tool to get people to like me. Makes me feel a bit sick now. Very yucky and immature behaviour. Thinking that the act of drinking itself was cool and made me interesting. I realise now that's immature. When I drank, I used to take the piss out of people. Now, this is something I've never talked about on the podcast. ever, because I didn't really realize I'd do it until we sat down to write this. And I realized that is one of the most immature things that I've ever done. I used to say mean things behind people's backs. I used to gossip a lot and think it was funny to make jokes about people. It makes me cringe now. I would never do that. Like, I know sometimes we have to vent about relationships and things in life, but I never actively try to hurt someone with the things that I say, whereas I think I did do that as a drinker. And that was a personality trait as a younger person that I didn't realize was caused by me being a boozer. I think I was less careful with my words, I would say, when I was younger.
I actually think that's another way of trying to make people like you.
Yes, absolutely. I was just going to say that.
It's it's the low hanging fruit. Like, oh, let's bond over the fact that we both dislike Mary. Yeah. It's sort of, it's really base level trying to connect with people, and it's pretty toxic.
Mary was a bit of a cunt though, wasn't she?
Yeah, fuck Mary. We can all agree on that, sober or not. What a cow.
I love the way you said cow and I said cunt. That's funny.
Two different forms of the C word.
I just think that's so interesting because I definitely did it so that people would like me. So because I sort of had information on someone. But I realize now if someone gossips to me, it means I don't trust them. Like I can see it because it makes me unsure whether that person's actually going to go away and talk about me in the same way they talk about other people. So I realize now I was probably shooting myself in my foot socially by gossiping about people. It was just a habit I had. It was a habit that a lot of people have that's actually really toxic. So then in my 30s, as a drinker and a parent, it was a little bit different. It was things like not taking care of my finances properly. I mean, I'm still a bit rubbish at this. I show an interest in it. But then I sort of
fade an interest in it now.
Yeah, that's your thing. I say to my husband. I'm still people pleasing, which is a bit of an adolescent characteristic, maybe. Always trying to have the last laugh, like Snarf from the Thundercats. Still being the organizer socially. I do think this is still a bit immature of me, that I feel like I have to be the one that organizes everything. Even though I was always scared of rejection, I didn't even realize I was doing this. What I mean by this is putting myself out there to be hurt. Now, I won't go into that too much, but when I organize things, I always end up getting disappointed when people don't show up. I do that all the time. So I organize a party, like the party that we had last year, and I was so busy concentrating on who hadn't turned up that I didn't enjoy myself in the end because I didn't focus on the good bits of the party, which was there was hundreds of people there and it was absolutely brilliant.
What do you think that is? Do you think that still wanted people to like you? What do you think?
Yes. I think it's fear of rejection. Yeah. And it's probably being a little bit immature, quite honestly, because why does it matter? Why does it matter who shows up? All that matters is the people that are there. So there's still signs of it that sort of lurk within me. I think I've often needed praise when I did something good, which is very childlike, of course, having no boundaries and laughing things off when I was upset and drinking away problems instead of dealing with them. Of course, that's quite immature. So generally, there are many ways I felt immature later in life when I should have felt more like an adult. I know we've both aged physically over the years, but do you feel like your very average level of alcohol consumption, Hamish, affected your emotional age? What I mean by that is, do you think that booze played a part in your immaturity, or are you naturally just a silly, underdeveloped man-child?
Thank you very much. I do think it's interesting how drinking is certainly a thing that we start doing as early as possible in order to feel grown up or to fit in with the older kids at school or because our older family members did it. But this idea that it might be the thing that keeps us from growing up is an interesting point that I've never really given much thought to. I'm not sure that I quite see it as black and white as you possibly do. Like getting drunk certainly led to some poor and immature decision making. There's no doubt about that. Not only financially, but also putting yourself in risky or dangerous situations, turning up to work drunk or hungover, missing flights, getting in a car. Those are just sort of ones that seem to come up a lot for all of us, I'm sure, myself included. I guess the timing of my growing up is a little harder to pinpoint as I effectively gave up booze like a matter of days after becoming a dad. So I'm not sure which one forced me to grow up more, but both definitely played a huge part. I think I'm sort of...
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but Mint's premium wireless is $15 a month. But I'd like to offer one other perk. We have no stores. That means no small talk. crazy weather we're having. No, it's not. It's just weather. It is an introvert's dream. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, max out your savings. The more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on any smart bed with base. Limited time. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you or at sleepnumber.com today.
Fighting internally, which is why I'm babbling here, with the idea of no longer being immature, which I kind of see as a positive and endearing thing. I like the fact that I'm immature, but like you said, I guess there's a distinction between immature, likable, playful, fun, and immature, just fucking grow up and make some decisions, mate. You know? Yes. Do you think it repressed your maturing? Is it as simple as that your alcohol consumption stopped your aging from the age of 14 or 15 when you started drinking?
Yeah, I do. I totally believe that. But it's funny what you said there about having babies, because then obviously I didn't address my alcohol intake until I had my first child. I didn't become sober curious or question any of my behaviours until I had a consequence to them, which was a crying baby in my arms when I had a hangover and couldn't look after him properly. So it's funny that you say that, because it does coincide with me having children.
Yeah.
So we could say that both of those acts together, being a mum and questioning, are how I started to mature. But I think the actual act of maturing takes time. And I think I've only started to mature since I was 40. I do think that I was blocked emotionally on the day that I started drinking. And I think there is a level there for 25 years where I did not emotionally mature. So yes, it is black and white for me, I think.
I think there isn't really an argument with that, right? I mean, we know that we drink to deal with emotions, good and bad. I mean, anyone that believes that they have matured emotionally through alcohol is wrong.
Well, I think probably scientifically it's probably proven as well that your brain can't actually develop when you're drinking a lot. I felt stagnant. It sort of felt like my brain had died when I started drinking. It went into hibernation sort of and held me back from so many things. I do feel upset and slightly embarrassed talking about this now. I know I don't get embarrassed very often, Hamish. My behaviour throughout my teens and 20s was that of a lost teenager. It meant I missed out on mature friendships and relationships and was not able to see when something was good for my emotions or damaging towards them. I did a lot of stuff that damaged me. Basically, I was too sozzled or hungover to think deeply about anything. Therefore, I didn't know what was important or what made me happy. I just presumed it was booze that was making me happy. I didn't actually take the time or the intellect to work out that that was wrong. And that's immaturity in itself. So it's kind of a immaturity inside immaturity to the point where I'm in the middle, like the core of my immaturity, and can't even get out. It's really weird.
Can we dig into this idea of having an emotional age a little bit?
Yeah, so emotional age is dependent on the individual's life experiences and responses to situations and the consequences of their actions. And interestingly, individuals who abuse drugs or alcohol don't tend to grow emotionally because they tend to always drink away their problems rather than deal with them, exactly what you said. Hence, they don't learn or grow as quickly as people that don't drink.
For most addicted people, emotional upset stems from their childhood. Many begin to use drugs or alcohol to mask their problems and avoid dealing with difficult situations up front. We actually talked about this in the episode I just did on trauma. This makes it more difficult for addicted people or overdrinkers to handle the circumstances of their actions and leaves their emotional growth stuck in the same spot as when they started boozing.
This is exactly how I feel. How could I have learned or grown or emotionally aged when all I was doing was popping a bottle open or opening a can to cope with anything?
Absolutely. In retrospect, a lot of my drinking was just me following the crowd. I was making impulsive decisions that I might not have made otherwise, and I missed out on building those deep, self-aware connections that I now cherish. Maybe that's what maturing is, being better at understanding what makes you who you are, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense because it's like a block, isn't it, Haim? It's like, I feel like when I started drinking, I sort of solidified. I know that sounds like a ridiculous thing to say, but there wasn't any squishiness to me. There wasn't any depth. There wasn't anything inside. It was just, well, a drink will help. A drink is my identity. A drink is how I have fun. This is all that's left of me. And everything else, my brain, my heart, everything that could absorb and connect with people was sort of taken over and drowned out by alcohol. So I never ever had the opportunity to sow any seeds within my own life, if you know what I mean. I never got the opportunity to grow because my plant was stagnant already and it was dried out. So there was no chance for me to absorb any goodness.
You're not. I like the plant idea. And actually, it's funny though, because I think what makes people interesting is when they love something that nobody else loves. Right? If you meet someone, you're like, what do you love doing? They're like, oh, I love travel and I love music. You're like, great, just like everyone else I've ever met. Whereas if you meet someone who doesn't go with the crowd, who's like, yeah, I love travel and music, but also I love Craig David, something that no one else loves.
Yeah, like
there's a
Morris
conversation. It makes people stand out. It gives people some colour. So I think as soon as you figure out what you actually like doing that isn't just following the crowd, then we see your true colours.
And also just by saying like I'm sober, it gives you sort of an emotional advantage on people, isn't it? Because you know that conversation perhaps means you are someone that steps out of the norm and goes against normality and goes against the grain. It already gives you kudos just by saying the words I'm sober. So when you just say, well, I'm a drinker, no one's going to go, oh, that's brilliant. Well done. You're a fantastic person and you must be really emotionally grown because they know that all you do is drink. And what's good in that? What's good in sitting in a bar and going to the same pub every weekend and pissing your pants when you puke up tequila shots? Like those things are going to be taking away your emotional growth rather than adding to it. And that's what I did for many years. And I think not only did I not mature, I think perhaps I immatured even more the older I got when I was still drinking, because I should have been maturing and I wasn't. I was going backwards. Yeah. I was carrying on the same behaviors, and that is the wrong trajectory for anybody.
Well, it becomes more clear. If you're a 40-year-old acting like an 18-year-old, it's far more clear than a 25-year-old acting like an 18-year-old, isn't it?
Totally, yeah. It seems that alcohol does seem to throw a spanner in maturing for both of us. We are not saying that all people that drink are immature. All we're erring at is that some of the things we did as drinkers were perhaps a little immature. For example, I know I would never have shaved anyone's eyebrows off, called bouncers twats, or stolen a fireman's helmet if I'd been sober, Hamish. And I didn't realise until I got sober that it was more about liking who I am emotionally and trusting my own choices, because before it was all about what everybody else thought about me. And part of maturing, I realise now, is getting to know yourself and getting to like yourself and starting to respect yourself. So what are some of the ways do you think you've matured?
I think in my decision making, I've had to make some bold, brave decisions in terms of my career, in terms of selling our house, in terms of moving back to Sydney, having another child. Like those are all grown-up decisions that
You're a very good boy. Thank
you very much. Yeah, I kind of feel like, these are decisions that my mum and dad should make. It feels weird that I have to make a decision like, do we sell our house? Like, what? Yeah. That's way too grown up for me. And I think that having the clarity of thought and confidence to make big decisions quickly is, I think, part of my newfound maturity. I think I might have been able to make big decisions when I was drinking, but not quickly and clearly. I would have gone, let's drink on it for a little bit, or let's just kick it down the street a bit and like mull it over. I'll just let it just sit there for a while while something comes to my mind. I'll sleep on it. Just those are words that you use when you're basically just avoiding making a decision. I think it's easy to drink during the making of a decision that seems too hard to make. And I think that delays or puts off things entirely in our lives. And I guess from an emotional standpoint, I'm also better, I feel now, at handling stress. I can obviously celebrate or socialise without the crutch of alcohol. I deal with the highs and lows of life in a healthier way. And I think I'm generally feeling content, which I think is maybe a better goal to have than feeling happy. Like I'm just satisfied with how things are going. And I think sobriety's helped me get there because, like we talk about a lot on this podcast, like sobriety is just about being comfortable sitting somewhere between a 3 out of 10 and a 7 or 8 out of 10. You don't have those like crazy wild ups and downs that you have when you're using alcohol and drugs quite so much, and you're sort of forced to feel content with your lot.
It's not going to be like being off your nut at a Utopia rave in Reading Town in 1997, is it, Hamish?
A rave at Reading Town Centre.
Yeah, at the leisure centre. Yeah, it used to have like robots up on, on stilts with like lasers coming out of their eyes, and DJs set up and backdrops, and used to smuggle E's in my bra. It was brilliant. Good days, Hamish.
What about you? Do you think you've grown up? You've matured since going sober?
Oh my God, I think I've literally matured. So what am I now? I'm nearly 48. So yeah, I've got properly sober nearly 7 years ago. And I think I've aged and matured, I would say, those 25 years in 7 years.
You reckon you've caught up?
In fact, I think I've probably matured all of those 25 years in the first 4 years of sobriety, which was a lot of catching up to do, but felt amazing.
Well, you
honestly.
are someone who now complains at cafes, which I think is the trait of a 60-year-old. So I reckon you've overshot it. I reckon you've wildly overshot it.
I think you could be right. And I got up from this chair a minute ago. My back was hurting and I made this noise.
Well, we haven't actually talked about that yet. The fact that you got back from your 6 months of travelling and living carefree and then did your back in lifting up a suitcase.
I know, it's sad, isn't it? That's maturity for sure.
That's it.
Or old age, one of the two. I have been to boxing 5 times this week, though, Hamish. You'd be proud of me. But yes, I am much more mature in many, many ways. I'm immature in the ways I need to be immature, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Like you, like I still like to do stupid things that make me laugh, but emotionally, I'm a completely different person. I'm a better communicator. Like I tell people I don't like them now. I know boundaries. I know my worth. I think my general life management is good. I can see situations from the angels.
And that's important. That's an important typo.
I think I meant from many angles, not from the angels. I enjoy undoing my emotions like we're doing now and accepting help when I don't understand my own struggles. I take care of myself, my mental health and my physical health. Earlier, you described a mature person as somebody who is fully developed emotionally and intellectually, exhibiting qualities such as wisdom, responsibility, and self-control. And even though I am not by any means perfect at any of those things, Hamish, I'm definitely a work in progress, and I'm better at all of them since I gave up alcohol.
That person does not sound like the kind of person I would actually like to be friends with.
No, exactly.
Fully developed,
that's
emotionally and
what I mean.
intellectually, exhibiting qualities such as wisdom, responsibility, and self-control. Like, they're a good parent, but not a good friend.
No, they're even a boring parent, that person. Like, you don't want to be around someone that's fully developed emotionally and intellectually because there's no growth there, is there? They're going to think they're better than you probably, aren't they?
That's it. There's a risk that we're going to slightly contradict the entire episode here, but I do stand by that point.
I stand by that point too. You can be partly mature, but I think what we're erring towards here, Hamish, is that it's okay to be, I would say, 55% mature and 45% immature.
Okay, so we're saying sobriety can help you grow up. You're going to be in the process of growing up, but don't become a grown-up.
Yeah, don't become a twat, basically.
Don't reach the end destination of grown up. Just growing up is what we're trying to achieve here.
The process, but don't actually reach it, because then, what's the point in going on if you actually reach it?
Okay, I feel more comfortable about this episode now. Alcohol can become an emotional quick fix for lots of us, a way to temporarily escape uncomfortable feelings rather than facing them head on. And honestly, avoiding those feelings means you're not really evolving at all. Whereas when you quit, you're giving an opportunity to grow. It can take time, often many years of sobriety, to see emotionally how you're growing up and maturing.
Imagine sobriety as you're slowly building a strong, well-lit house. You know how I love a slightly long and confusing analogy, don't you?
Go on.
Let's imagine you're turning on the lights inside that house in each room, and every time you mature, every experience, every moment of introspection, every challenge you overcome is like brightening up part of you. Okay, that's what sobriety is. You're turning on all these little lights in your body that have been switched off for so many years. When you drink, sometimes it's like throwing a dark veil over that house. Your lights get obscured or dulled. Sobriety and maturing are about taking off the veil, not drinking away life, opening the curtains and allowing the true you to shine through.
That is actually a good analogy.
Okay, thank you. It took me a while.
I thought you'd lost me halfway through and then you came back and you got me by the end.
So you just got to imagine yourself as this little light that's desperate to come out and desperate to be let out into the world. And once you really start stepping into your sobriety, you start to open those windows out onto the world and everybody sees who you are. And it's such a wonderful thing not to cover yourself or darken yourself. You know, it's so enlightening. I guess that's probably why that word exists, isn't it, Haim?
She's doubling down on it and I like it.
So what does emotionally maturing feel like? For me, it feels like inner peace, a sense of being in control of my emotions and my life. It's that quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and not needing external substances or remarks or other people to make you feel complete. You start to see relationships differently too, as I just said. They become deeper, more honest and more fulfilling. Unless you're married, then it means you know you don't want to have sex as much and you enjoy beach walks more than blowjobs, I think basically, Hamish, is what I'm trying to say. That's emotional maturity right there, just knowing that I don't want to do that anymore.
To me, what you're saying there is before you got married, you much preferred blowjobs to beach walks. That's what I'm reading between the lines here.
That is correct.
Don't tell my wife that. I was looking forward to my annual birthday fellatio in December. Don't rub off on her, please. I want to keep you two away from each other.
I'm not rubbing off on anyone. Thank you very much.
On a serious note, it's interesting too how, as a society, we celebrate drinking rituals, right? As sort of adult moments. Such one that's come into my life recently. People are like, let's wet the head. Like, what about having a kid and wetting the head? What? It makes zero sense to me. Or, you know, your 18th birthday, or America, your 21st birthday, let's go get you your first pint. You know, like those growing up moments seem to not be achieving what they're setting out to do. If you look closely, true adulting is more about facing your responsibilities head on, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about making choices that nurture your long-term well-being rather than just trying to find them in the bottom of a pint.
I think it's a shame that alcohol comes along at a time, Haim, where we feel not mature enough to handle it, I think. Right. We talked about that Japanese experiment. Well, it's not really an experiment. When in Japan, I think you're not allowed to drink until you're 21. And the New Year's Eve before your 21st birthday, all the people that are turning 21 in that year are given some alcohol to drink all together at the same time. And by that point, they are mature enough to know that alcohol is bad for them. Whereas when I'm 13, 14, 15, I don't know any of that. I'm just throwing it down my neck, hoping to be a good laugh and everyone like me. Whereas these kids are 21 years old, they're adults really, and they're given a choice. Whereas perhaps at 13 or 14, you don't really have a choice. You just do it because that's what you think you're supposed to do. And what happens is these 21-year-olds, these adults in Japan, choose to then not to drink for the rest of their lives. They have this one experience where they probably drink too much and they're mature enough to make a good decision about alcohol later on in their life. And it's proven scientifically that the later you start drinking in your life, the less likely it is for you to have a drink problem or to even drink at all. It's just that we start so young and we're immature and we can't handle it. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know when to stop. It's that our brains are not mature enough to handle this quite adult drug.
Yeah, I can't remember what the stats are on that, but I remember that, I think when I spoke to Paul Dillon about it, in a way, if you're a parent worried about your kids drinking, don't let your goal be, I never want my child to drink, because odds are they're going to drink. What you want your responsibilities to be is, I want their first drink to come as late as possible, because the later it comes, like you said, the less likely they are to develop an addiction problem.
Yeah, so that right there is about immaturity and maturity, isn't it? And knowing. And unfortunately, I was very immature when I started drinking and didn't drink well. And not that anyone probably does, but I wasn't mature enough to understand what it was doing to me. That's for sure.
As we wrap up this episode, we want you to take a moment and think about how much you've matured since going sober. Reflect on those times when you might have been tempted to rely on alcohol as a shortcut and consider the growth you've achieved since then.
You are a very wise and mature individual, Hamish. Well done.
I'm really not.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to say anything. We all know that.
Do you want to finish this episode with an example? You referred earlier that you'd ChatGPT a letter of complaint. You sort of told me the results of these letters earlier, but really I want to know what the letter themselves sound like.
Instead of ending on a Brené Brown quote, Saucy Brown, we will end on a letter that I recently wrote to the council, Hamish.
Okay.
Subject: concerns regarding Mr. Hamish Adams Cairns' habit of leaving his lights on. Dear council members, I'm writing as a concerned and admittedly slightly perimenopausal resident of the Sunshine Coast regarding an unusual yet noticeable issue. Mr. Hamish Adams Cairns appears to have a persistent habit of leaving his lights on for extended periods. While we all appreciate the comfort and security that comes with a well-lit home, the constant glow from Mr. Adams Cairns' property has raised a few concerns within our community, for starters. Jay, you know you write your gratitude diary. I'm writing a complaint letter and keeping it in a diary each day. It's the same as gratitude, but it's kind of the opposite at the same time.
I was going to say, what's the opposite of gratitude? Is it can we do ungratitude book, ungratitude diary, ungrateful diary?
If you're questioning your relationship with booze, you're struggling to moderate, or your hangovers are causing anxiety, it might be time to reach out for some support.
Yeah, just talk to a mate about how you're feeling, contact a local doctor, find an AA or sobriety group. Vic's got one.
Yeah, just head to www.cuppa.community.
Remember, if you're questioning yourself, it might be time to seek support.
Even though this journey can be awkward, it is definitely worth it. And if you've enjoyed the Sober Awkward podcast, don't forget to review it, rate it, and share it with your mates.
They have to share it with their mates?
Yeah, of course they do. I'm not doing this for nothing, Hamish. Bloody hell.
How do they share it?
I don't know, just write it on the...
Hey, I'm Paige DeSorbo, and I'm always thinking about underwear.
I'm Hannah Berner, and I'm also thinking about underwear, but I prefer full coverage. I like to call them my granny panties.
Actually, I never think about underwear. That's the magic of Tommy John.
Same. They're so light and so comfy, and if it's not comfortable, I'm not wearing it.
And the bras, soft, supportive, and actually breathable.
Yes, Lord knows the girls need to breathe. Also, I need my PJs to breathe and be buttery soft and stretchy enough for my dramatic tossing and turning at night. That's why I live in my Tommy John pajamas.
Plus, they're so cute because they fit perfectly.
Put yourself on to Tommy John.
Upgrade your drawer with Tommy John. Save 25% for a limited time at TommyJohn.com/comfort. See site for details.
Hey neighbor, this holiday season, Birch Lane is here to help you celebrate with friends and family. From guest-ready dining tables to cozy sofas that fit the whole crew, our classic furniture and decor are crafted to last. And with fast free delivery, you can be ready for holiday hosting in days, not weeks. So you can spend time on what matters most. It's classic style for joyful living. Shop Birch Lane, a Wayfair specialty brand at birchlane.com.
With the American Express Platinum Card, you can access over $3,500 in annual value with benefits and eligible purchases across travel, entertainment, and more. There's nothing like Platinum. Learn more at americanexpress.com/explore-platinum. Enrollment requirements, monthly and other limits and terms apply.
So, as you probably know, my comedy memoir, 1,000 Wasted Sundays, is officially out. All my magnificent fuck-uppery in one awkward hit. If you'd like to get your hands on a copy, it's now available from all good bookstores.
We always say all good bookstores, don't we?
Yeah.
Are there bad bookstores?
No, it's probably ones with moody sellers.
Oh yeah, really depressed librarian folk.
Yes,
okay,
good. So there are probably some, but we're only storing it in the good ones.
It's only made it into the goodies.
You can also get it from all good online retailers. The print version and ebook are out now, and the audiobook will be available in March. I've been writing my memoir for 5 years.
It will make you laugh, cry and cringe, and hopefully inspire a few people to reconsider their relationship with booze. If you love the podcast, then I think you'll love the book, even if I do say so myself. Hamish has read it. What did you think?
I feel like I know a little bit too much about you now, to be honest, Vic. Look, I really loved it. It was hilarious and surprisingly moving, but I feel like I've seen you naked in a literary sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's worrying.
Yeah. From an emotional point of view, seriously, it wobbled my teeny weeny wooden heart, Vic.
Okay.
My teeny little wooden heart.
Well, his wooden heart is broken. Anyway, so if you do manage to get your filthy mitts on a copy, please do me a favour and head to goodreads.com and give me a review. Doing that will help me get it out there to those that need a bit of sober support. So there you have it. My story, unwanted warts and all. Come and get awkward with me.
Not to be too demanding or anything, but seriously, go and buy it now.
Go and buy it. Go and buy it right now.
Yeah, don't just tell your friends, buy it, and then buy your friends one or two.
Yeah, don't give them a copy, buy it, yeah.
And you know what? Don't be careful where you store it. If you lose it, you can always buy another 5.
Yeah, buy another one.
Yeah.